Hey guys, it's Rob here. Today we're going over a family entertainment center that I've never covered before in the nearly 2 years of running this channel, that being Major Magic's All-Star Pizza Review, or Major Magic's for short. Not only will we be covering one of these locations, but we'll specifically be covering the first 5 Major Magic's locations, as most of these locations have hardly any info on them. Anyways, I want to thank Cwave for being the original requester of this idea, and also thank Snow and Beanie Boy 1252 for requesting this idea. As usual, I've gathered information from multiple different sources, which I'll be linking in the description. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, as in the next video, we'll be going over an area that was home to one of the first 3 stages. Anyways, let's get into the history of the first 5 Major Magics locations. The 35615 southbound Gratiot Avenue location, located in Clinton Township, Michigan, opened on May 24th, 1982 as the first Major Magics to ever open. An ad from a few days before the opening confirms the opening date, and also gives us the name of every Major Magic character. Speaking of which, let's go over the animatronic show used for this chain. Similar to the Rock of Fire explosion, the show was divided into 3 separate stages, though in Major Magic's case, there was a fourth, smaller stage for him to stand on. Unlike the Rock of Fire, though, all 3 stages had separate names for each of the 3 shows. On the left stage, you had the Honey Bear Holler Bears, featuring Burley Hives, who is similar to Beach Bear in terms of movement, who played a banjo, and Singin' Sam, a patriotic bear. On center stage was the main show, that being the Rock and Roll Rebellion, which featured Sergeant Pepperoni, a walrus who played the saxophone, Flash, a lion who played the drums, Barbara String Band, a fox who plays electric guitar, and Rock the Croc, a crocodile who plays keyboard. The right stage features the magical music machines, which in of itself featured Ludwig von Drum, a sentient drum, Marcello, a sentient cello, Yoko Obo, a sentient oboe, and Nickelodeon, a sentient organ. Something important to note about the set of bots here is that, at least cosmetically, they are different from what came later. For example, Sergeant Pepperoni had no gloves, and Rock had a different keyboard entirely. Barbara was likely different as well, as the kick movement was conceptualized for the character, and with the movement being programmed early on, it's likely Clinton's Barbara had this kick movement. We get more info from a smart article a few days after the opening, which tells us that the animatronics were created by Anton animators, who apparently were formerly associated with Walt Disney Productions. The owner of this original location was Robert Rashid, though he teamed up with his wife Sharon to create the first location, which was deemed as a prototype for the national chain. We get more info from an article in January of 1983, such as the fact that the first location cost $850,000 to build, as well as the weight of a couple of the characters, with Barbara's animatronic weighing 280 pounds and Burley Hives weighing over 500 pounds. These are insane numbers, but of course, this comes from the fact that they're mostly made of steel, unlike other animatronics, such as CEI's bots, which are instead largely made of aluminum. We also get a photo from this article, which gives us a look at Flash. Another article from November of 1983 gives us a look at the Major Magic stage alongside the magical music machines. We also get a bit of new info here, as this location could sit 550 people. The first video we get of the store comes from 1988, which gives us a look at some of the games, some of the rides, including this Billy Bob carousel interestingly enough, the playground area, and a small look at the stage. The bots appear to be in good shape overall from what I can see, but I'm not really 100% sure, as the footage isn't great. The location would close in 2001, and the building would go through a few tenants, though as of April of 2025, the location is a Yo-Yo's Fun Center, an indoor play center. As for the fate of the bots, it's unknown what happened to them. The 29421 John R. Road location, located in Madison Heights, Michigan, opened in December of 1982 as a Major Magics, opening with the Rock and Roll Rebellion. I will not be referring to the other 2 band names for time's sake from here on out. This was a franchise store, owned by a guy named Chuck. The specific location cost around $1.2 million in total to open, which I'm assuming was the cost back then, which is nearly $4 million today, which is crazy. We also have floor plans for this location, and there's not much to say here, as it pretty much has the layout of a standard Showbiz pizza place. We have some undated footage, although presumably between the 80s and 90s, of the location, showing us the games, the rides, and the playground area. Next is another undated photo, although it's also probably from the 80s or 90s, that may just be some of the best footage of a Major Magics we have. We get a fairly good look at the layout, we already know it's a standard Showbiz pizza but still, see many of the games, many of the rides, the playground area again, where we get to see the Sergeant Pepperoni playground piece, in the show, where we get to see all the stages in action in what is probably the best footage of the whole show. It's in pretty good shape, as far as I can tell, with the only issue appearing to be Barbara stuck leaning forward for some reason. We also have a couple of undated photos that are presumably from Madison Heights, one showing off some of the games, and the other giving another look at the playground area. We have some more footage from 1996, giving us a look at the store again, starting with an exterior shot with the typical Major Magics logo used here. We also get a lot of footage of the bots here. They seem to be in okay shape, but I can't help but feel that some of the movements are out here. It's hard to tell as I don't know the full extent of the movements of each character. We also get a look at the playground area again, as well as a bit of the rides, and even get to see one of the counter areas too. The show would be removed by 2006, as can be seen in footage from that time. We only see the showroom area in this footage, nothing else. The location closed in January of 2007, and we also have a short video from right after their closure, which just shows off the exterior, looking the same as it did in the 1996 footage. After the closure, the building appeared to be subdivided, though the plaza would be partially demolished in 2019, though the Major Magics part stayed intact as far as I can tell. As of April of 2025, the building seems to be vacant. As for the bots, they would be sold to Randyland, who received the entire show and still owns it to this day. 5838 Monroe Street location, located in Sylvania, Ohio, opened in summer of 1983 as a Major Magics, opening with the Rock and Roll Rebellion. As far as we know, we don't have any photos or videos of the store during this time, so let's move on. The first footage we get of the store comes from 1992, where we get a look at a bit of the games, a bit of the rides, and the playground area, where we can see that Sergeant Pepperoni playground piece again, as was common for these locations to have. We have some photos from the mid to late 2000s that give a good look at the location, including the games, the prize counter area, the salad bar, and a few photos of the show itself. We also have an exterior shot from Google Maps in October of 2007, where it has the usual Major Magics logo, though the building is a light blue color. In July of 2010, the location would close. An article around a week after the closure tells us that it closed due to a lack of business, and also that it employed 15 people at the time of closure. It also says that there was seating for around 500 people. We also have an exterior shot attached, where we see that it had been repainted by this point to a darker blue, alongside some yellow as well. This would be the last of the original stores to close. We have multiple photos that were taken a couple weeks before the closure, showing off the road sign, the exterior again, some of the games, and the showroom, where all the stages would be shown off. The bots look fine here cosmetically, though I imagine their mechanical condition wasn't too good by this point. There's no way to know for sure without footage though. Anyways, after the location closed, it would sit there mostly untouched for a few years, with the games and rides still being inside the building, and the sign not being taken down. The animatronics were also still inside the building. The building would have all the items taken out though, and the sign taken off as well by 2014. As of April of 2025, the red sign also remained until 2018 as well, although without the logo. As for the bots, they would go to a person in 2014 who would eventually use them in a Major Magics revival in February of 2020, though it would be short-lived due to a certain pandemic, and the bots would eventually be sold off separately. I'm unsure exactly who owns them nowadays, or where their exact whereabouts are now. 801 in Greengate Road location, located in Greensburg, Pennsylvania, opened on December 26, 1983 as a Major Magics, opening with the Rock and Roll Rebellion. Unfortunately, no photos or videos exist of the store during this era. They would close in early 1986, being rebranded to Sideshow Pizza, with the owner being Steve Barnett. Sideshow Pizza would open on April 19, 1986. We have multiple photos of the stage, which give us a look at how the show was rebranded. It wasn't really. A couple of characters received Sideshow Pizza themed clothing, but the only character that really received a change was Major Magic himself, who became the ringmaster, and his hair was changed from white to a dark gray, maybe even black. The rest of the characters remained virtually the same, and even the Rock and Roll Rebellion name was kept. We also have this exterior shot of the store. The first video we get of the store comes from 1995, where we see a bunch of the games, a bit of the rides, and the show, where they look to be in good shape as far as I can tell. We also can see a bit of their Sergeant Pepperoni playground piece, which of course is unchanged. The store would close between late 1996 and early 1997 due to the lease, and relocate to Irwin, Pennsylvania, taking the bots with them. We only have one video of this location, which shows off some of their attractions, including the Star Chaser, an indoor playground area, a go-kart area, and a carousel. We also get a look at the exterior, with the Sideshow Pizza logo on it. We also have a photo that shows off their rides, including one with Sing and Sam that I've only ever seen at this location, and the ball pit area in the background. The store would close in 1999, with an auction happening on July 20th of that year. The Irwin store is now a Sunbelt. The original store appears to be subdivided into Vitone's Music and CD warehouses of April 2025. As for the bots, they would be sent to a golf place called Racktops, where they would be used as part of the golf course. They would eventually be removed and sold off, with Barbara currently belonging to Snow, and Flash belonging to Joshua. Yoko Obo, Rock, Ludwig, and Sergeant Pepperoni all belong to Jack Turner, aka Animatronics Warehouse, and Sam, Burley, Nickelodeon, and the Ringmaster are all missing, so their fates are unknown. The Tel Huron Shopping Center location, located in Pontiac, Michigan, opened in October of 1984 as a major Magic's, opening with the Rock and Roll Rebellion. There's almost no documentation of this location whatsoever, and it's not surprising why. The location would close in early February of 1985, 4 months after it opened, which is due to the fact that the store essentially flopped, with sales volume being 75% below projections just to break even, according to an article from around the time of closure. Since we don't have an exact address for this location, it's unknown what the store is as of April of 2025. As for the bots, it's unknown what happened to them. In conclusion, the first 5 stores had some pretty cool stuff to go over, from the first ever store to the last location to close. It also was cool learning a lot more about Major Magics, as I wasn't as familiar with it before making this video. Overall, going over the first 5 locations was a fun, new experience. Thank you guys for watching this video. It really was fun being able to dive deep into a new family entertainment center for this channel, and I hope you guys enjoyed me looking into a new one that isn't Chuck E. Cheese or Showbiz Pizza Place. My next video will be going over the history of Showbiz Pizza Place and Chuck E. Cheese in Phoenix, Arizona, which not only was home to one of the first 3 stages, but also to a unique exterior. If you're interested in seeing that, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you're notified when it drops. If you want to find me elsewhere, I've got a Discord server and Instagram page, both linked in the description down below. That's gonna do it for now though, so God bless, and I hope you all have a blessed day.